Malaysia last year. And he has been up to Penang many times, but this is the first time he's been in Penang in his official capacity. And we are very, very honored to have him here. And together with his delegation is Mr. Nasir Abbasi, the Commercial Councillor, Mr. Paul W. Brown, the Economic Councillor, and Mr. Charles Winthasser, who is the Consul General, but he has been in Malaysia, I'm sure, for a longer period. 2.5 years. 2.5 years, right. So, our distinguished guests this morning are very familiar with Penang, and I'm sure they are very comfortable with Penang. Penang values the American presence here, especially in terms of the commercial and business investments. Since the early 80s, we have attracted nearly 27 billion ringgit in terms of US investments. And the top 2 foreign investments, or top 2 FDIs, were from US companies, namely Western Digital with 4.3 billion ringgit and Jaya with 2.3 billion ringgit. And equally, we are very proud of all the marquee names from the US industry. The marquee names are Honeywell, Intel, Agilent, Altera, St. Jude, practically you name it, we have it here. So we are very, very proud of the, as I said, the American presence here, which has contributed tremendously, not in terms of, as I said, investments, but also in terms of education, in terms of high tech, and adding value and knowledge to Penang's economic growth.
I'm just delighted to be back again in Penang, as you say, on my first official visit, but I've been here a couple of times before to visit with U.S. companies and also with my family for a little vacation. And we are so proud of the partnership between the United States and Penang over the years, particularly with American business, which invested and continues to invest, as you noted, significantly in Penang, but also in terms of education, in terms of health, as you noted, St. Jude, in terms of the relationships between our peoples go back a long way. And we want to continue and deepen that. I think our relationship with Malaysia is strengthening, and we want that also to happen, and is clearly happening with Penang. When I was back in Washington a few weeks ago, I was just delighted to hear how Malaysia is very much on the minds of people at the top levels in Washington. And I think we have a lot of opportunity here to expand our ties. And I just thank you so much for the hospitality. It's great to be here on an important day where we have the American-Malaysian Chamber of Commerce celebrating and marking and moving forward with our business relationships, and also some other opportunities we have ahead to mark the relationships between our peoples. So I appreciate this opportunity.
From your feedback from whatever is happening in Penang, especially business related, are there any grouses that you think that you need the state authorities or federal authorities to address?
You know, I think that American business and private Americans who live in Penang, and we were just talking about this during our meeting, are very satisfied here and very positive about both the business environment and the environment for people and their families to live. So I don't foresee any of that. We'll certainly have an open opportunity with American business to talk about any issues that they want to raise, but people are very positive and satisfied with their experience here.
Very productive day that we have had, and our American companies have made a substantial contribution to Penang and to Malaysia, and they will continue to do so. That's the message that we heard, and the ambassador spoke to various programs, the chief minister spoke to various programs, all of which are very, very encouraging about the way forward.
American investment is very important, because last year, of the 10.5 billion ringgit in FDIs that Penang had, we had a total of 12.2 billion last year. 10.5 billion were FDIs. 75% of the FDIs were from American companies. That 75% works up to 7.9 billion ringgit. So 7.9 billion ringgit out of 10.5 billion originated from American companies, and the importance, I think, cannot be stressed enough. So I said we are very, very grateful for the confidence and commitment by the American companies in Penang. And I think one of the reasons, of course, is that we are business friendly and we try to adopt global standards. But we want to give the assurances that we continue these policies that make Penang the location.
We look back often at the history of American business involvement in Penang, and American was a full partner in the development of Penang and Malaysia since the 1970s. But what we see now is that in 2010, American companies continued to be the major investor both in Malaysia and in Penang. And so I think we have a very firm foundation to move ahead in the future in growing the partnership that we see between our countries, also in the business area. And I think business is such a key part of what we work on together, and the confidence and the connection between our peoples is played out in all the areas that American business is active in. So impressed. I'm just so impressed with the library complex in Penang. 102 outlets at every level, all connected by the internet. I just visited the library in Georgetown. Very impressive with the Lincoln Corner there, and just delighted to be here today to formally open the Lincoln Corner here at the main library in Seberang, Jaya. I also just want to thank, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, and most of all, importantly, students and young adults. Thank you so much for this terrific ceremony. I love the performance. And to think that the people performing and welcoming us out front are all staff of the library is tremendous. That everyone is able to do more than one thing and do it so well. As the world gets smaller through globalization, and we spend more time connecting with each other electronically, the importance of libraries grows. Not just a home for books anymore. Modern libraries are community centers where learning and connecting takes place, and the United States is very proud of the contribution that we're making to libraries through the resources available through the Lincoln Corners and the education advising centers. Americans, like you, love reading. Virtually all great leaders around the world have shared a passion for reading, including one, Abraham Lincoln, former President of the United States, after which Lincoln Corners are named. And he famously read by candlelight in a log cabin as he was growing up and educated himself through reading. One of our current President, Barack Obama, one of his favorite books is called Team of Rivals, which is a book about President Lincoln and how he managed a group of people in his cabinet when he was president at a very difficult time in America's history. President Obama, speaking about libraries, he's very interested in books. He's actually written 3 books himself. I think we can find all 3 of them here at the library. One of them he just wrote recently for his daughters. President Obama said about libraries, more than a building that houses books and data, the library represents a window on the world. He also said, libraries remind us that the truth isn't about who yells the loudest, but who has the right information. The United States is one of Malaysia's top foreign investor and one of her leading trading partners. Especially here in Penang, as we talked about yesterday at the American Chamber of Commerce Summit, American-Malaysia Chamber of Commerce Summit, in areas like electronics, manufacturing, energy, just to name a few sectors. These Lincoln Corners are another way that we are investing in the community by providing high-quality American materials, as was mentioned earlier, including books, periodicals, electronic databases, DVDs, and reference services on all aspects of the United States. The Lincoln Corners also provide wonderful community programming for all ages.
Now, amongst the many important challenges confronting the international community today, that needs to be addressed collectively is the challenge of ensuring a just, equitable and durable information environment. As we all know, knowledge is power, and hence in a democracy, this power requires that knowledge be accessible, available and affordable. Ilmu pengetahuan adalah kuasa. Dan dalam sebuah negara yang demokratik adalah penting bahawa pengetahuan ataupun maklumat boleh diperolehi secara umum, secara dalam bentuk yang dimampu milik oleh semua dan tanpa sebarang hindaran ataupun halangan. Dan itulah yang dihasratkan oleh kerajaan negeri. Oleh itu, sebuah atau satu rang undang-undang kebebasan maklumat telah pun dibentangkan ke Dewan Undangan Negeri supaya kita boleh mencapai maklumat ini dengan lebih lengkap dan menyeluruh. Now with the Lincoln's Corner, the people of Penang will have the opportunity to know more about the United States, its society, its politics, its geography, its history, economics, and of course about America's global interests. There's a lot of interest about America, the land of opportunity. How you're able to meld the potpourri of cultures as well as the different traditions in order, as I say, to achieve the progress that he has now, and by emphasizing on creativity and innovation. Just as a matter of interest, I was reading that Silicon Valley, which is the hotbed of most of the creative and innovation products in the last and this century, that amongst the companies in the Silicon Valley, half of it actually originated from companies which migrated to the United States. So the willingness of the United States to welcome people from different cultures and to give them the opportunity to express and realize their potential is, I think, one of the principal reasons or the principal causes that why America is so great. And I think that greatness in America is something that is also admired by many outside America. We may not always agree with his politics, but we admire the American people. Now, through this knowledge partnership, Americans and Penangites will congregate to share ideas on topics of mutual interest, especially on topics which will enhance our bilateral relationship. To encourage sharing of knowledge and information, we must acknowledge that information is a basic human right. And the Penang government, to promote disclosure of information, is pushing through a Freedom of Information Bill in the Penang State Assembly. And we hope that this will give the necessary space and freedom for us to acquire a window to the world. I would think that a library is also a repository of knowledge and data, as well as a soul of the nation. And much more, because of that, it is also a door to a better and brighter future. Many have learned from books to propel themselves upwardly, whether in terms of economic terms or in terms of political rights. And learning cannot be underestimated. So it's very important that we have libraries that are functional to not only increase learning, but also to build character amongst our citizens.